Happy belated birthday, first of all.
Back at you, sister.
That's right. Virgos unite. Uh,
Yes,
okay, and another piece of good news is that you have a second book coming out. Spill it.
I do. So, Little Birdie Betties of Wisconsin is officially out for pre-order and it will be shipping out at the end of the month. And I've also heard that I need to start working on Little Birdie Betties of Arkansas. So that will now be in the queue.
It's great because not only are you doing books, you're going out to events, you're doing readings, you're doing thank you cards with the birds on it. I mean, this is your marketing mind at work.
And you know what? We're going to talk about the other buckets of our life we're going to fill up. And this all started with me tapping into something I used to love to do as a kid, which was drawing. So we're going to talk more about that.
Okay, well, stay tuned for that. But today we are talking for really all of our sports lovers out there. We're using the analogy of a scorecard and keeping score of our successes.
We're talking about scorecards because we need to figure out what is our scorecard for success. There is one that society gives us, but then it's also like, does that one actually work for me?
So how do we start thinking about it in terms of that?
Well, first we need to think about why we even need our own scorecard. And the reason is because the scorecard that society gives us is a lot of BS. We grow up learning that we need to fit in, get in line, don't stand out, get good grades so we can maybe go to college so we can get a job and work and buy things and probably things we don't need. And then we need to work more so we can pay for those things. And then that cycle repeats until maybe one day at 65 or 67, we can stop working, maybe. And we learn that things like money and title and status are what is most important. And I am guilty of chasing those things in the past until I realized that they are the equivalent of candy and it wasn't actually nourishing me or making me happy. Like I got the job I thought I wanted. And I remember vividly thinking, this is it. Shouldn't I feel differently about this? And so we cannot spend 100% of our lives on 10% of who we are and expect fulfillment. And I let the work piece of the pie become the whole pie. And as someone who's been in transition 4 times, laid off twice, fired twice, when you let work become where all of your value comes from, when that goes away, because P.S., it's simply what you're paid to do, you are left wondering, where did all my value go? Because your value needs to come from inside the house, not externally. And the more we can build our value from the inside out, the more that things can happen to us externally. Jobs come and go, relationships come and go. We get the invite, we don't, and it doesn't impact who we are or our value. And the way that success is traditionally looked at is all externally. And it's a scorecard that we were given early with little boxes to check, like college, like marriage, like buying a house, like having kids. And I'm here to tell you that I've checked most of those boxes and it didn't fill me up. And that's because that scorecard didn't fit. And why would it? Because we all look at the world through our unique set of eyes with preferences and passions that are all our own and all different. So our scorecards have to be as unique as each of us.
So how do we prioritize so that our scorecard reflects more of ourselves instead of what we do?
So we have to start getting really clear on what it is that we actually want. So we bury ourselves in busyness. And I've got a new definition of busyness for you. It is the attempt to create safety and control when there is none. And when we are so busy, flying through life, going to all the things, arriving late, we're always in chaos. You know who we can't hear? We can't hear ourselves and what we really want. And so we need to get quiet. We need to get honest with ourselves. And we may realize that the life we have isn't actually the life that we want. And so we have to think about the different buckets of life. Usually we think about the work bucket and the family bucket, and we fill and refill those buckets like no other buckets exist. But we are so much more than what we get paid to do and the role that we play in our families. So I challenge you to come up with 2 other buckets that you can start filling. Maybe it's something that you loved to do as a kid that you stopped doing. That's how I got into drawing again. Maybe it's something that you've always wanted to do or been curious about, or maybe that bucket is travel and you want to start getting serious about your next adventure. So once those buckets are defined, literally put time for them in the calendar. And during that time, pour into that bucket. So maybe you loved writing and you haven't done that in forever. Put a half hour once a week on the calendar so you can write. If you want to get closer to your spirituality, book time for how you're going to do that. So we all get the same 24 hours in a day, and we decide how we spend that.
So what is your personal scorecard and how do you define success?
Yeah, so I've got 6 different buckets. Of course, there's a work bucket because you need money to do things. For me, I've been really focused not so much on more and more and more. And that's how I used to think: the promotion, more money, bigger bonus, whatever that looks like. And I am now focused on what is enough. What is enough that will allow me to live the life I want to so that I can go and do other things and activate the different parts of myself. The second bucket is my birds. So drawing a bird, going out birding, doing that at least every other week. My third bucket is health. So moving my body 4 to 5 times a week. And I don't define this too much. If it's yoga for 10 minutes in the morning, if it's a walk for half hour, I'm not too prescriptive about it. However I move my body is whatever feels good in the moment. The fourth bucket is relationships. So date night. So I call it dream team time, me and my husband getting quality time together, but also scheduling time with my girlfriends. If I don't have at least 1 to 2 happy hours a week with my girls, I lose my mind. Number 5 is giving back. So, with my books, I love doing readings at senior centers. So giving back to the community in different ways. And then the 6th bucket is my selfish bucket. I take a nap every single day, a 17-minute nap. I also like getting lost in a good book. So that 6th bucket is just whatever I need to do to just let myself feel good. And so everyone wants to live a meaningful life, but that means we have to first define what makes a meaningful life to each of us. And our yellow brick roads are all beautiful and unique, which is the exact point. Your life should not look like anyone else's. And I think that's how you know when you're doing it right.
Love it, girl. I might add that on the scorecard, I really feel like our friends at home should actually have a physical scorecard and check those boxes, because it sure is validating when you've checked those boxes and filled those buckets.
Yes, that's a great idea. And the other thing is, it's going to change. What's a bucket you're filling now could be totally different a year from now. So it is very fluid. It's whatever meets your needs, because again, it is your scorecard, your rules.
Love it. Well, thanks, Honey Bunny. We'll see you again next time. Be sure to watch The Joy Corner to help fill your joyful bucket.